Very good afternoon. If 12 pumps working 7 hours a day can lift 2,800 tons of water in 20 days. So there is a pump, let's say like a bore well. Now, like that, you have 12 pumps. Now, the 12 pumps, if it is working for 7 hours a day, so every day they are putting that into work for 7 hours, and it can lift 2,800 tons of water from the earth. And this can be done within 20 days. So for 20 whole days, every day 7 hours they have to pump the water, and at that time you will be getting 2,800 tons of water. Okay, in how many days can 20 pumps, now here it was 12 pumps, now it is increased to 20 pumps, okay, working 9 hours, okay, sorry, this is not hope, this is 9 hours, okay, 9 hours a day lift 3,000 tons. So if you see, the number of pumps is also increased, and the number of the water, the quantity of water is also increased, and the number of hours is also increased. Okay, now we have to find out within how many days. Now, if they have increased the number of pumps, if they have increased the number of hours and the number of or the quantity of water, now do you think the number of days will increase or decrease? Think properly and say. For 12 pumps, you are taking out 2,800 tons of water within 20 days. Now, all that which is doing the work has increased. Now, will the days increase or decrease? Okay. Any more answers? Excuse me. Only one answer. I only got one answer. It's okay if it's wrong. Doesn't matter. Just give the answers. Decrease. Work has, yeah, correct, Ainas. Good. Gauri answer is correct. Okay, Bhavya has given a different answer. Okay, Bhavya. Any more answers? Decrease. Maximum of them are saying decrease. Okay, good. So understand properly. Okay, so Bhavya, it's not increase, but it is decrease. Okay. Now understand the situation. Now let us say they are building a house. They are building a house. Now for building house, there are 12 people who are building house. Every day they will work for 7 hours. Okay. Every day they'll work for 7 hours. So within 20 days, they have completed this house. Okay. Now, this is one scenario. Now, suppose instead of 12 people, if I put 20 people to build the house, and if I ask them to work for 9 hours, now the number of days will increase or decrease. There are more number of people, they are working for more hours, which means the number of days will decrease because there are too many people who can finish the work quickly. Okay, same logic is applied here also. Okay, Bhavya, good that you understood. Okay, same logic is applied here also. So there are 12 pumps which is been used here to pump the water out from the earth, and those 12 pumps are working 7 hours every day, and it can lift 2,800 tons of water in 20 days. Now we have to analyze and find out in how many days can 20 pumps working for 9 hours lifting 3,000 tons of water. Okay, so we have to do some derivations first, we have to do some explanations first, and after that we will solve the problem. Firstly, yes, very good. Firstly, define the type of proportion. So if the number of pumps are increasing and the number of days are decreasing, then it is a inverse proportion. So let us explain that. Here, capacity and work is related. As capacity increases, work will be completed early. Therefore, it forms an inverse proportion. One increases and one decreases. So that's why it forms inverse proportion. So we have defined it to be an inverse proportion. Now let us solve the problem. Let the number of days required, so we are supposed to find out the number of days required, be x. Let the number of days required be x. Okay. Now let us define the capacity ratio. Capacity ratio, which is regarded with the work. How much capacity is there? So in the first scenario, we have 12 pumps, which is working for 7 hours every day and for 20 days. Okay. This is first scenario capacity. And other scenario is we have 20 pumps working for 9 hours a day into, we don't know the number of days. So let us take it as x days. Okay. We will take it as x days. But now we will simplify this and we'll go for the other ratio. In the other ratio, we will do the little changes. Now first simplify this before going to the other one. 12 into 7 into 20. How much do you get? 12 into 7 into 20. 1680 is to 20 into 9 is 180. So 180x. So this capacity ratio has come to this form, that is 1680 is to 180x. This is one of the ratio. Now we have to also calculate the other ratio, that is the quantity of water. Okay, and the quantity of water is the outcome of the work. So work ratio is equal to 2800. So in the first scenario where they had 12 pumps, they were able to draw 2800 tons of water, and in the second scenario they are able to draw 3000 tons of water. Okay, so we have got two pairs of ratios and now we have to solve this in inverse proportion. Okay, now so put it in inverse proportion, which means one of the ratio will get ulta. So the first ratio is 1680 is to 180x. If we have written this in a proper way, it means I have to change the other ratio. Okay, so the other ratio I am reversing it. 3000 is to 2800. Did you all understand why did I reverse? Because it's an inverse proportion, wherein we have to write one ratio properly and the other ratio should be reversed. Any doubts until here? Now, using product of extremes is equal to product of means, let us solve this ratio. So, 1680 into 2800 is equal to 3000 into 180x. Okay. So, 1680 into 2800, how much do you get? What is the answer you get? 1680 into 2800. Ina's no, it's showing a different value. Yeah, correct, Bhavya. 4704,123. So that will give you 47 lakhs 4,000 is equal to 3,000 into 180. 5 lakh 40,000 x. Okay. So 47 lakh 4,000 divided by 5 lakh 40,000 is equal to x. So therefore, find the x value. 470430 minus 541234. Sorry, not minus, division, right? Why did I do minus? Even I don't know. Okay. So you get 8.711 and so on. Yeah, correct. 8.711, so on you get. So you can round it off to 9. You can round it off to 9 days. We are finding out days, correct? Since it is after decimal, it is more than 5. See, it is 8.7. So that is why we are rounding off to 9. If the value was 8.4, 8.3, then we would have taken 8 days. Fine, understood? So since the after decimal it is more than 5, we are rounding off to the next digit, that is 9 days. So therefore, it will take 9 days to complete the to take out 3,000 tons of water. Okay, give the conclusion. Therefore, it requires 9 days (9 days), 20 pumps working 9 hours to lift 3,000 tons of water. Okay. Everybody understood? Any doubts in this problem? Can we go to the next question? Okay. Now the next question. 8 men or 16 boys, this is not off, or 16 boys can do their work in 39 days. In how many days will 4 men and 18 boys do it? So firstly, we have 8 men or 16 boys. Read the question carefully. It is 8 men or 16 boys. It means 8 men are equal to 16 boys. Okay, 8 men are equal to 16 boys. So the strength of the boys is taken as half. The strength of the boys is taken as half, and that is why 8 men or 16 boys is given. So 8 men or 16 boys can do the work in 39 days. Now they are asking us in how many days, will 4 men and 18 boys. Now if you see here, it is or. Or means it is either 1, 8 or 16. But if you see the second question, they're asking and means plus. Both of them will do. You and your friend went out for a coffee. So both of you, and means plus. So 4 men and 18 boys have done the work, and we have to find out in how many days they have done the work. So did you all understand the question? Okay. Now let us solve. Now again, can anybody say which proportion this is in? Number of men will increase. Indirect. Again, it will, I think mostly it will come in inverse. Yeah, we will define. We will, once we define, we will get to know which proportion it is. Okay. So let us start. First, what is given to us? 8 men or 16 boys can do the work. So therefore, one man's work is equal to 2 boys work. Correct? One man strength or one man's work is equal to 2 boys work. That is what they are trying to say. 8 men or 16 boys. Then now if the number of men and boys increases, the number of days will decrease. Okay, so this is a clear case of inverse proportion. Okay, now this is a clear case of inverse proportion. You can take 8 men doing work for 39 days. Okay, and you can take 4 men plus 18 by 2 working for X days. Now here clearly you can know the number of men are increasing. So which means the number of days should decrease. Okay, so this is a clear case of inverse proportion. One is increasing and one is decreasing. So let us say that it is a case of inverse proportion. Okay, now let us define the ratios. Work capacity ratio. So in the first case, 8 men are there. They've told 8 men or 16 boys. So we can only consider one criteria. And we have considered men criteria because it is easy to solve. Okay, 8 men, and in the second scenario, we have 4 men plus, now what did they say? 18 boys. 4 men and 18 boys. Now, one man's work is 2 boys' work. Okay, so if I say 18 boys, the work what they do is just half of the work. They're not completely doing the man's work. So they're doing half of the work. Okay, so 18 by 2. 18 boys are doing 9 men's work, not 18 by 4 inas. When it comes to proportion of work, we have already defined. One man's work is 2 boys' work. Okay. So 4 men and we have 18 boys. Now let us take half of it because they're doing half of the work. So how many men do we have now totally? Now in this side we have 8 men, but on the other side 4 plus 18 by 2 is 9. Correct? 18 by 2 is 9. So 2 ones are 2 nines are. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 13 men. Understood? Everybody understood how we got 13 men? Okay. So this is one of the ratio. Now the other ratio. Let us define one more ratio, which is days. The number of days they are working. So the first set, that is 8 men, are going to work for 39 days. And we don't know the other ratio. So that will become X days. Okay. Now let us put this into inverse proportion. So in inverse proportion, one ratio will be correct and the other ratio will be ulta. So if you take the first ratio of 8 is to 13 as the proper one, the second ratio will change the places. That is X is to 39. Okay. Now product of extremes is equal to product of means. Now product of extremes is 8 into 39 is equal to 13x. 8 into 39 divided by 13 is equal to x. Now can you say me the x value? Therefore x is equal to how many days? 24 days. So totally 13 men or 8 men, sorry, 18 boys and 4 men together require 24 days to finish the work. Understood? Any doubts in this problem? Any part of the problem you want me to repeat it again? Write the conclusion. Therefore, 4 men and 18 boys can complete the work in 24 days. Bhavya, concentrate. Concentrate and understand. Okay. Now, in the first scenario, we have 8 men and 16 boys. Sorry, 8 men or 16 boys, either one of them. So I have selected 8 men. So in the first scenario, we have 8 men. But in the second scenario, they are saying 4 men and 18 boys, which means I have to consider both of them. 4 men also is working, 18 boys are also working. Okay. Now, seeing the first scenario, we can understand that the work which is done by 18 men is also the same as the work done by 16 boys. Okay. The work done by 88 men is also same as work done by 16 boys. Now 8 twos are 16, right? 8 twos are 16. So which means the boys are doing only half of the work. The strength is only half. It's not full. So we are using the same value here. We are using the same logic here to find out the number of days that the other second scenario people will work. Okay. Now, if you see the second scenario, 4 men and 18 boys. Now, 4 men are there, accepted. 4 men are there. But the boys who are working, they are half of the strength. They are not considered full. They are half of the strength. So that is why 18 by 2. Half of the strength, right? So 18 by 2. Now, 4 plus 2 ones are 2 nines are 18. So this work is as good as which is done by 13 men. Okay. Now I am converting the boys to men here, but it is half of it, not full. So that will give us the work capacity ratio. And then when it comes to the days ratio, you will have 39 days for the first scenario. And for the second scenario, we do not know. So we have kept it as X days. And then put that into inverse proportion, where the first ratio will be properly put and the second ratio will reverse in the order. So X is to 39. Now do the simplification and you'll get 24 days. Okay, good. You have understood. Now let us go to the next problem. Concentrate well. These problems can be asked in your section C, section B, and also case study. Okay. The monthly incomes of two persons are in the ratio of 7:8, and their monthly expenditure are in the ratio of 11:13. If each saves rupees 3,000 per month, find their monthly income. Let us understand the problem properly and do it slowly. Concentrate well. The monthly income of two persons are in the ratio of 7:8. Income ratio is given. Their monthly expenditure is in the ratio of 11:13. Income ratio is given. Expenditure ratio is also given. Okay. If each saves 3,000 rupees, if everybody is saving 3,000 rupees, so we can also find out the saving ratio. So we know their income ratio, we know their monthly expenditure ratio, we know that we will be finding out their saving ratio. So with all this information, we are asked to find out their monthly income. Okay, that is the question. Now let us define few of the terms here, and then we will be getting it into the form of equation and solving the equation. Because there are too many ratios here, so we'll have to determine, or we have to define each of them separately. So let us start. Solution. Let the incomes be 7x and 8x. If you see the income ratio, it is 7:8. So we have just added an x to that because we want to form the equations. Now, whenever you have more number of ratios like this, form the equations and solve. It will be easy to solve. Okay. So let the incomes of two persons be 7x and 8x. Then their expenditure be, what is the ratio? 11y and 13y. Again, I'm reminding, we are forming the equations. So that is why we are taking different variables. And we will be using one formula or one equation here, that is savings. How do we find savings? Income minus expenditure, can I say? This is a very common, a well-known formula. Very good. So savings is income minus Expenditure. Yeah, income less expense. Correct. Both are correct. Now we are using that formula here to find out first person's uh, you know income separately and second person's income separately. Okay. Now using this same equation, now let us form the first person's income. We know that with all the information that is given to us, we are doing this. First person savings, first person savings is equal to, now what is first person's income? 7x. And what is first person's expenditure? 11y. Okay. So income of first person is 7x. Expenditure of first person is minus 11y. Did you all understand this? What are we trying to do? Everybody? Okay. Now find the equation for second person like that. Find the savings equation for the second person. Let us see. Second person's savings. Again, second person's income is very good. 8x minus expenditure is 13y. Right? Yeah, correct, Ainas. Expenditure is 13y. Now, what is the saving that they have done? If each saves 3,000 per month, so each of them are saving 3,000 rupees every month. So we got two equations. The first equation is, see this 3,000, you can write it here also. You can write it in this place also. Okay, 3,000 is equal to 7x minus 11y. 3,000 is equal to 8x minus 13y. This also you can write. It is correct. Okay. So to just define the equation, I've written it to the other side. So income minus expenditure is equal to savings. Income minus expenditure is equal to savings. Very good. Lakshmi is already solved it. X is 2000 and Y is 1000. Good. Give the conclusion. Put that X and Y in these equations, Lakshmi, and find out what is their income and what is their expenditure. So firstly, you will have to find the income. If you do that, that is done. Now we understood, or we know we have got two equations. Now solve these two equations simultaneously. Now whenever you see two equations, solve it simultaneously. Okay. So let us solve the equation simultaneously. So therefore solve equations simultaneously. So what is the first equation? 7x minus 11y is equal to 3000. And the second equation is 8x minus 13y is equal to 3000. Now, if I want to make x as common, I have to multiply the first equation with 8 and the second equation with 7. Okay. So, if I multiply first equation with 8, I will get 56x minus 88y is equal to 3000 into 8 will give me 24,000. And if I multiply 7 into second equation, again 56x minus 91y is equal to 21,000.